Bay United, Jelmaro Cavalier, Kimoni Bailey, Mount Pleasant, Raheem Edwards, Mount Pleasant, and Kimani Airborne from Arnett Gardens.
So you just heard from our coach Steve McClaren and his 28-man squad for these upcoming matches against Trinidad on the 6th and the 9th. I'm making a quick video right here to give my major takeaways from this press conference. Starting with the American invitation. No, there are many of you Reggae Boyz fans out there that was not looking forward to or interested in this local camp against Trinidad and Tobago. And to put it bluntly, it's because many of you just simply believe the JPL players are just simply not good enough. So many of you fans were actually angry that we weren't including majority of the American-based players in this window. But of course, the coach was framing this as a local camp for JPL players, but as Simon Preston himself have said on numerous occasions, it didn't mean that there weren't going to be any players from America. But I do understand where the fans were coming from. Last year when we had a similar camp, only Jaden Hibbert came in from Atlanta too. So I was personally surprised but delighted that we got a few USL and MLS players in the squad this time around. We all know about Jamali Waite, and he gets another look in on the squad to get some caps. So it's good to see him in the camp to provide some senior experience for the rest of the goalkeepers. We are also looking to the future still, as Joshua Grant is also an invitee from an MLS team. We'll also give the likes of Malik Howell from Las Vegas Lights a chance to represent his country and for the coach to get a better look at him for future considerations. So it's still only 3 players, but that's 3 more that I thought would be representing the country this time around. Okay, key takeaway number 2, Williams versus Williams and no Ellis. Alright, so just to start off, I'm not here to rain on any player that was included in the squad parade, but I must say some of the choices made was a bit surprising to me personally. Starting with the keeper, Benjamin Williams from Portmore was surprisingly preferred to, say, Roger Williams from Arnett Gardens. Not to say Benjamin is not a good goalkeeper, he has done very well since taking the number 1 spot away from Russell at Portmore, but I thought Roger Williams simply had more games under his belt, simply been more consistent, and I also believe he's a decent player with the ball at his feet that should fit well in the possession style that McClaren likes to play. So that was a surprise one there. Other surprises, Fitzroy Cummins is in the squad. I know Mount Pleasant has one of the best defense in the league, but I still never saw that one coming. I was also delighted and happy for Shamar Watson, who I thought quietly had a brilliant season so far. So to see him included was a great find by Marion Garden and the rest of the team. But I'm also just as surprised that there was no space for Nikhil Ellis to be in the squad. Sure, he could argue with the likes of Romeo Guthrie and Atkinson in the team. He could just say that there's simply no more space available for the young number 10 from Racing. But he's still young and you never know he will make it into the next one. Another takeaway, the short turnaround time. Now the coach mentioned that he will have the boys on Tuesday after these final rounds of JPL fixtures, but when you look at the schedule real quick, you realize they'll be playing immediately in a couple of days against Trinidad. Obviously that's not enough time for them really incorporate themselves to the understanding and teaching that McClaren will want to give them. So you have to really wonder why weren't a longer camp held just like what Coach Grimmy did last season. I'd be shocked if they see any real cohesiveness in their first game against Trinidad after only 2 days of training. It makes you really wonder what exactly is Steve McClaren getting out of this local camp. And finally, history can be made again. Alright, this is in reference to what happened last year in the last local camp against Trinidad and Tobago, where 14 players made their international debut, which currently stands as a record. Yet 1 year afterwards, here's a squad that has 15 uncapped players, and if all them play, of course, that would be the new record. And I know some people are looking at this game as it's not real caps. Some people look at it as simply a scrimmage against Trinidad and Tobago. But for some of these players who it's always been a dream to represent their country, this is a massive deal. And regardless, it will go down in the history books as a new record. But anyway, that's all my major takeaways from this squad announcement. And of course, I encourage everybody to go out and support the boys on February 6th in Mobay and February 9th in Arnett Gardens. Also, let me know your thoughts on the squad announcement in the comment section below. Otherwise, for great JPL content and Reggae Boyz content, you're already at the right place, JPL Fan. YouTube, big up yourself.
And the aim of the camp, many people ask me, what's the aim of the camp? I say it's very much short term. It's very much geared towards World Cup qualification. So it's geared towards the here and now, with also within the squad 2 or 3 youngsters we need to look at for the future. But basically, what I'm hoping for, like what happened last season at this time when they had 2 games against Trinidad, 3 players emerged from that camp and became regulars in the squad for the Reggae Boyz Senior National Team. And that was great to see. That was Kaheem Dixon, Richard King, and Shaq Juan Davis.